everyone, today we delve into a critical topic that affects our community on various levels, thuggery. Understanding the complexity and consequences of such behavior is essential for promoting safety and cohesiveness in our society. Through this interview, we aim to shed light on the root causes, implications, and possible solutions surrounding thuggery. Join us as we explore this important subject together. I am your host, Suraya Abubakar Ayuba, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Mustafa Musa Buta. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir, once again.
Thank you very much.
The first question here is, please can you define thuggery and explain its implication in different contexts?
Yeah, actually, as you mentioned earlier, my name is Mustafa Buta, PhD in people. So I pardon you for that. When you talk about thuggery, actually, it's something that has been in exception in our dear country right from time. Though mostly people do relate it with the issue of politics. But this definition will give us more insight on what thuggery is all about. Thuggery is an activity of thugs, which is connected with stealing, killing, kidnapping, rudeness, intimidation, and at times harassment. So that shows that it's an act of violence, mainly that has to do with crimes and criminalities in our dear society. But the activity of thuggery that is largely affect our economy, that in Nigeria in relation, is that of political thuggery. Because actually these people at the end of the day, they are being used by our politicians during politics. So that means they have backup from the politicians and rich individuals.
So, sir, do you mean our leaders, or let me say politicians, are the ones who engage thuggery in the society?
No, actually, they are not the ones that engage with thuggery in the society. But the only thing is, during politics, the reason why I mentioned this is, if you look at the pre-independence general election of 1959 rather, you find out that the issue of violence and thuggery has been in existence. So at the end of the day, to a certain extent, this thing must be in place during any of the election. So that's why I mentioned that. It's not necessarily that they do go and meet them directly, but these people, they have impact. At times, they have interest then. They are also a citizen or a kind of Nigerians. So they also have interest of who to vote for or who they are having interest on. So as such, that will trigger them, that will push them to go and do something which is not acceptable in society. And if you look at this thing, you find out that this thing affects lives and valuable properties in society.
Thank you, sir. Second question here is, how do you think thuggery affects community and organization?
Yeah. You see, thuggery affects the community, likewise the organization in so many ways. Talking about, as I mentioned earlier, loss of lives, valuable properties, and that's stealing of a thing. At times we find out that, you see, for instance, if you look at Nigeria holistically, you find out that, especially the northern part of Nigeria, if you go to Gombe, we have the problem of this issue of Kalari. When you go to Bauchi State, we have Sarasuka. Name it. So the issue is, all these things you are seeing is, it usually affects so many things in life, but mainly, the main cause of all these things is joblessness. You understand? So at the end of the day, these people, they are ready to kill. These people, they are ready to steal. These people are ready to do anything mentioned. Any criminal, they are ready to do it. So automatically, this will affect the national development of any country. So that's the implication.
Our next question here is, in your own opinion, what role does effective leadership play in preventing thuggery?
Yeah. You see, when you talk about effective leadership, you're talking about leadership that is after service delivery. Actually, effective or good leadership have a positive impact on this category of thing. Because mainly, all these things used to happen in terms of allowing these teeming youth to stay joblessless, to have nothing doing. And then if for instance now the government engage them into any of the empowerment program, I'm telling you, they are ready to change. Most of them are ready to change. Because these people that they are from homes where they are lacking home training. So at the end of the day, if they come out, they need to have something for their livelihood. So if they don't have it, at the end of the day, they have to go into all these things. And they are ready. When you find out that all these people, if they are engaged in all this kind of thing, you find out that they used to give them a penny, a small amount of money. So at the end of the day, you see, poverty and unemployment have a kind of positive impact on such things. So that is it. Mainly, if the government can introduce any empowerment program for the teenage youth, at least that will give them a kind of sense of belonging to think that, okay, this thing we are doing is not good. Because this at the end of the day, it needs to kill it. Automatically, there's problem. Because you go to a country like Japan, you find out that Japan, they are very short, but they are too productive. But we in Nigeria here, we gather a lot of a kind of youth. But then we are not productive. It's that the government doesn't used to engage them. Because when effectively it's correct that the government do come in place in order to bring about service. If there is such service, automatically there will be need for a kind of increase in productivity. And when there's increase in productivity, it will need to increase in their income. And when there's increase in income, automatically there will be need for increase in the rate of employment. So that because people will have much cash in order to buy a lot of things for consumption. So that is it. So I'm very sorry because I talk economically, I'm an economics.
So in essence, it is lack of joblessness that leads to all this thuggery life, and maybe from homecoming, from your background, from your home, lack of home training, and also illiteracy.
Illiteracy.
Okay, so thank you. So how can individuals contribute to promoting a culture that discourages thuggery?
Individual can contribute to a kind of anything that has to do that will discourage the activity by involving into small and medium scale businesses. You see, for instance now, like these are Niger states, youth are a kind of liking the orientation of doing a small business.
Yes,
because what they believe is if someone like me, for instance, if my friend or someone see me doing this, they think I'm down. Well, one is not down. I'm an entrepreneur. If I tell you what I'm earning every day, well, you'll be surprised. So mainly is these people that have nothing doing, they need to get attached. They need to find some people. You see, like for instance, now this our entrepreneurship everything. When we need someone that will help us, we are liking individuals, you that will come close to us. That if for instance now we are not on the ground, we assign someone to stay. Some of them don't like to stay, but then because they are too lazy, what they prefer is for them to just have the free lunch. And there's no free lunch in this life. For every lunch there must be a cost. One need to engage himself first for him to get what he wanted. So that is it.
Okay. Now we are going to have a short break before we continue our talking discussion. Welcome back to Priambana's room. So we are going to continue our talk show. Welcome back, sir. So have you encountered situation involving thuggery in your professional expression, and if so, how were they addressed?
Honestly, I haven't encountered anything. Because I'm a reserved someone. I don't even kind of go anywhere anyhow. So I have proper time management and other things. They're very important things to actually engage myself into.
So next question here is, can you discuss any successful strategies or interventions you have seen or implemented to address thuggery?
The actual, you see, this thing that this thuggery of the thing, the major machinery that is in charge of kind of discouraging or stopping this in the society is the government. Actually, government can introduce social programs that will engage the youth. Because honestly, all these things I've seen the youth that are indigenous countries, at the end of the day, they like something doing about doing, which at the end of the day, it affects their means of livelihood. So if government can introduce certain programs that will capture the youth, maybe on monthly basis or quarterly basis, At least that will also discourage the youth from engaging themselves into all this stuff of a thing. Then also we have this issue of skills and training, which has to do with what? Proper knowledge. The government needs to create certain programs that will orient this youth to know that yes, this life of a thing that is seen, this world of the thing that is seen, they are very valuable in the sense that at the end of the day, if such things keep happening in society, it will affect socio-political and economic situation of the country or the society. So that is my recommendations.
So the last question, how can individual or entities create a safe environment that minimizes the risks of thuggery?
Individuals can kind of create safe environment to minimize such thuggery by kind of having much means of livelihood. Like for instance, this issue of informal sector, government need to encourage such program or such sector in order to bring about issue of employment. You see, because the issue is mainly the fact that this thing that you are seeing, this of it, is largely being a kind of triggered by the youth. So if the youth can have something, at least, even though it's something that will bring them pain on daily basis, this will discourage the activity of thuggery. So mainly you see that this employment that doesn't have to do with government, I think it contributes. Like if for instance you have something that will bring 1,000 naira for you on daily basis, if you times it by 30, at least you give 5,000 naira. So if you, there's a state that if you go to their market, you find that someone doesn't have a shop, doesn't have anything, but you go there, at the end of the day, that very day you come back with 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira. So automatically, the way out is for individuals not to focus on government only, but for them to go out and source for any means of livelihood. And they shouldn't think within the scope, they should think out of the scope. They should think outside the scope that yes, there are some things that one can do in order to get more money for him to survive than to go and involve himself into all this killing and stealing of a thing, which is an act of rudeness. So that is it.
With this, we have come to the end of our talk show. Thank you for your presence, Mr. Mustafa Musakuta. We are really honored to have you here. I hope you all have enjoyed this talking section. Don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and click the big like button. Bye. Thank you.